Hello everyone, it's FallenDice and welcome to another episode of Minecraft Adventures with FallenDice. And this episode, let's just get right back into where we were on the last one. We were kind of getting started on our wheat farm, doing some leveling, talking some theory. So we'll head right back over there and we will get right back to work on it. Alright, so we are ready to continue on. I had to widen things a little bit on both ends, but we are now able to go 64 wide and still have our support and walls up on the outside in addition to the leaf walls. The leaf walls are just to keep creepers and stuff out, but I still want to have structure to this so it's not just an outdoor open wheat farm. Like I said, we're going to have lights and things like that. So we're going to construct it out of our stone bricks, mossy stone bricks, all that kind of stuff. So I have all the materials here. So the first part will be to kind of set up how we're going to do the outside. And eventually I'll come in and I'm probably going to replace the sides with those new stone walls and things that they're doing for the 1.4. I forget what they call them. I mean, they're kind of like fences, but they're made, you can make them out of the bricks and stuff. So that is going to be cool to do the sides with those eventually. But for now, I'll figure something else out. But let me think on this for 1 sec, and I will be right back. Alright, so we're back, and this is kind of where I decided, or I kind of feel like going with the design for this. And of course, we're going to have like a light block here and here spaced out periodically so that we'll keep all the the wheat properly lit. The one issue I did realize is I keep forgetting I'm not playing Better Than Wolves anymore. I do have to deal with hydration, which means my choices were either every 8 blocks put a pathway going up again, kind of like we've done in the past, but that's going to take out at least 3 per, so I'm going to leave us with what, 61 per row? I'm doing the math. Yeah, I think there'd be like 3 walkways. If we go 8 by 8, we can find out real fast. 8. Is there 8 between it? Nope, gotta go 1 more. No, it's gonna be more than that. No, it's gonna be 7 of them. Yeah, 8 by 8 by 64. Yeah, because it's got to be 4 blocks between a water source. So I'd actually lose 7 blocks per all the way up to the top. And yeah, that's almost. I don't like that. Plus, I've never liked how that looks. I must be having legs. I've not seen the blocks. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I haven't liked that because items tend to get stuck up on top of them. You got to kind of walk up to collect all your items, and I just wanted to have one single cascading waterfall coming all the way down, bringing all the items to a collection sorting place down here. So the next option is instead to go higher. So we'd only be able to do 4 rows per. And then at which point we'd have to go up higher, and this would be a water block, and that's going to hydrate over here. I wish I could hydrate over here as well, but it is required to either be the same level or 1 above for it to hydrate blocks. So this right here, if we have water going across, and we don't even have to take it the entire length because it just needs to have 1 every like 8 blocks, I think. Will hydrate 4 there, 4 there. So we'll figure it out. So we won't have to do like all water, but we are going to have water on this row. And then in which case 2, 3, 4, and then we'd be up the next level. So obviously it's going to go up quicker and faster, and I'm probably going to end up doubling the height on this. And it'll change this as well, but it's going to give me what I want, and that is basically every block on this is going to be plantable. Alright, so update is now complete. All these are all 4 deep, and if we take out anything on here, you're going to notice that, oh, okay. That's solid. If we go up here, once we get past it, you'll see. Wow. I am just 0 for 0. There we go. Okay. Now the rest of these are like these. This will be a trough underneath. These ones, because I was actually just going level for level, so I'll still have to do a little digging, but all the rest of the layers as you go up, this first layer has got a hollow underneath, so we can place water where we need to, put in some dirt around it, because like I said, we don't have to go straight water all the way across, and the same with this first one here as well. So, that's all good. I also finished up the leaves going around, so we've got a nice perimeter again. And in addition, I also made it too wide on the top, and that was because I was actually taking some fire from spiders. You know, and obviously spiders can climb up the outside, so it basically has a lip going over the top. And just because I got to the bottom layer and I actually went up one extra high, so I think we're gonna go through and I'll level it off, so this first one will be a little bit higher than the other ones, but that way the only lip you'll see is the one that's outside. The collection's going to be like in the middle around here, so I'm going to be moving that to over like right here, down further though, so it's not going to be above ground anymore. And purpose for that will be, as the water can only go 7 wide and it has to keep dropping down, our collection points can actually be underground a bit. So I figured might as well put the where we come in, and then I'll still have a passageway coming up to replant everything, but yeah, it'll make more sense than that thing being way up there. The bottom will have a pillar. We need to go at least, I want to be at least 3 high. Oops. So we'll take it till we get to about right here, and at this point we'll go up 1 higher. Get rid of that. And the reason is I may still end up putting in like half slabs. So this gives me the ability, if I can jump, then I can also take a half slab up. So that should be good enough, I think. It's going to be 4 high difference in the spot where we have to make the jump, so it'll be easier to get up and down. Now the other thing I have to think of too is this. Up top, that's going to be open. And the reason for it being open is if we do decide to do a second layer up top, we need the items to all drop here down to this and then get taken across. So with that being the case, well, over here it needs to be, but over there I can do that. Okay, there we go. And then again at this level we're gonna have to have water, but that'll be up high because, see, well, you know, this will work as far as just for this level and getting light in. Up when I go up to the next level on top, say we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4. The next level would be up here, and once again we just need to have that's going to be like that, and that I guess will be like this. Okay, there we go. And that's how we can still have our spot for water to water these 4 layers. Okay, figured it was time for another update, and of course we've got the rain going. And obviously this is going to be like this down the bottom, so you'll be kind of like a view and an entrance in. And then once you're in, we got this. So it's 3 high, except at this point where it'll be 2, but that's because we need to have water on the next level up when we redo everything. So let's see if we jump up here real fast and take a peek. Yeah, you can see like right over here that there's, oops. Oh yeah, because it's gonna be it's gonna be dirt. So yeah, this it will be dirt, dirt, dirt. There's 4, and this will be the gap, and then that'll be the next level going up across. So by making this that one lower there, it allows us to put a second set of our second tier of our wheat farm above. So I was doing some figuring RenEvo's on, and I was letting him know what I was working on. And right now, as is, this is 48 stacks of wheat with one harvest on one layer. So when I added the second layer, it's going to be 96 stacks of wheat in one harvest. I don't even know how. That's what 9 times 6 is 54. So yeah, it's close to two, well, at least 1.5 double chests. So I have it all laid out now. It's just a matter of going through and adding this in. I'll wait to do the top until I've got the first level fully functioning, and then we'll come back in later to do the second one. But that's where we are right now, so I am going to continue working on this, and I will see you guys in a few. Alright, so, as per usual, things always seem to change mid whatever it is I'm doing. So look up on the mini-map, you'll see this is where we want to go. So pretty much right straight here, we're going to be moving towards our new storage area. I've already kind of brought the items that were up there over to here, and I brought in a bunch more smooth stone for the project. Yeah, I used my emeralds. I finally found I think it was the priest. He does a 1 emerald for either 2 or 3 glowstone. It was only the 2 one, but considering how many glow or emeralds I'm getting, that was worth it. So I ended up with 4 stacks of glowstone, which I was able to use over here. And as you can see now, we are well lit. Everywhere, every single block under here at all times is at a minimum 9 light level. So that means all of these will have the best chance to grow. However, before I go any further, conflicting reports on things and just the research I'm getting, I'm not getting definitive answers on this, so I am going to do my own research on. Now, what I'm thinking happens is the water destroys the soil, so it turns to regular dirt, but it shouldn't affect the crops. And since I have to go through here and replant anyway, I may just take a hoe and run up each one of these inside rows to, again, maximize the amount of plantable area I have. Because if I have to lose 1 out of every 4 blocks, I mean, I just cut my output by 25%, and that's kind of ridiculous. And again, 8 by 64, or 8 down the middle, if I were to take 8 of these out of the 64, that would end up being like 1/8 of it. So I would have actually lost less here, but then I would have had to deal with the issue of stuff getting hung up, and I prefer, like I said, one long thing. So we're going to go to creative. I'm going to set myself up an experiment. I'm going to test this myself. I'm going to have like three different ones. One of them is going to be straight dirt on the bottom. One of them is going to be ice on the bottom, because I'm curious to see if things will move quicker. The items on top, when they drop, if they hit the ice, it'll get them moving faster and actually cause all of our drops to actually reach us quicker. If I have to lose a block, I'd like to know if the ice actually helps. And then the third one would be, no, I think that's about it. Well, we'll see. When I get out there, I'll see if I can come up with any other possible ideas of how to do this to make it work the best. And then we'll test them. Alright, so our first test is just the trample test. I guess I could probably forgot to get the bottom row. And both of these are going to have no crops on it, and they're identical. I'm just checking to make sure, by doing it on 2 separate areas, we're going to verify that in fact this first row on each one of these should get destroyed by the water coming down. Well, not destroyed, but turned into dirt. So that is what I'm expecting. That is what should happen if things are as they've been. So get the water coming down. I'll go ahead and turn it off. And let's see what we get. Interesting. I'm not sure why you guys aren't, because you're not the spot I would assume should have. But all of the ones nearest to the water, where the water dropped directly on them, did not actually get converted. Some of these bottom ones, for some reason, did. I do have water in them, I think. Oh, I don't. That's why. That's why these ones are having issues. So I'm going to repeat this test again, because I'm curious. I'm going to let all these for sure get turned into soil blocks, so that there's no question on this. Because technically, even if what I was expecting to happen being that the ones nearest to, or the ones that had the water dropping directly on top of them should have been converted to regular dirt instead of farmland, the ones further up should not have. And that's maybe when I was going up and doing stuff, I was accidentally trampling them. So right now, as we look, what the heck? Why do you keep changing? I should have water in all of these. One up. Oh, because it's 5 back. That makes sense. Well, I'm not worried about it right now, but that's why this one row right here, because it's actually 5 back. I should have had the water directly underneath here as well. This is not what I was expecting. I'm happy, pleasantly surprised. The only other thing left to do after this is to go from creative to survival and make sure that that has nothing to do with this. But so far, still all farmland. Alright, well, let's change that. Okay, here we go. So now we're on survival. Let it reach all the way down. Oops, turn you back off. Make it day. And yes, I still have farmland. Not sure about that. I got one block somewhere in a weird place, like that. Regardless of how I have that one block, that's not going to change. So, all right. Well, test 1 is done, and all right. So now the next test is going to be to plant some wheat. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do 3 rows in each one. One of them is going to have the 3 in the back, and that's so it can have the water dropping directly on the wheat, and the other one will have the 3 back or forward, so there's no wheat where it drops. And then we're going to measure how much we get down here at the bottom. And then, yeah, well, let's check that first. All right, so we are ready to test. As you can see, the row on the left has crops directly under the water where it's going to come down on. The row on the right has that empty. And each one of these will have a row missing so that we have the exact same number of fully grown wheat planted. So we should have pretty close to equal numbers of seeds and wheat coming down. And then the top one, since the water's coming from the same level behind, I left it full just because it's not going to really make a difference. So what we'll do is I have an empty inventory here, and we're going to switch from creative to survival so that we can see full empty inventory. Once it comes down, I'll drop into here and pick up all the items from this one, place it into here, and actually let me grab this bucket of water, and for a moment I'm going to swap over to creative so I don't actually use it. I don't want to take the chance of accidentally getting the items through the wall. So put that back there, and wow, we are ready to go. Alright, cool. Then I'll be able to just step in over here and grab all the items. Alright, so here we go. Testing whether the water dropping directly on top of the crop has any effect on how much you get versus not dropping on it. Alright, I think everything's come down, so we'll go ahead and switch you off. And it looks like I can pick up a couple strays that fell over here, so I'm going to go grab that. From the looks of things, I still have not had any of my blocks destroyed, so that is a good thing. Alright, so we'll come over here, and looks like we got 64, so we got 76 wheat and almost 2 stacks of seeds. Alright, now we'll come over to this side. Like I said again, looks like success as far as blocks. So we'll step down, see what we get. And we got, okay, 64 and 12. So we got the exact same number of wheat, and it looks like 64 and 52 for the seeds. 64 and 57. So 5 difference in seeds, and that is the same as what you would get on a random chance, 2 to 3 seeds per 1 wheat dropping. So according to this, there is no penalty at all for having the water drop directly onto the wheat now. So that looks like it has been fixed. And I'm doing it in 1.3.2 in survival. So that's, don't have to worry about it maybe being a creative glitch. This was all done in survival. My blocks are good. Equal numbers of wheat, pretty equal numbers of seeds. So I don't even need to go to the next test, which I was just going to see if I couldn't use the block, whether ice would make it go faster, but I can use the block. So my wheat farm is good as is right now. So I think we'll just head back over there, and we'll start working on getting that part up there wired up, adding in the water for the keeping the farmland good, and all that kind of stuff. So let me head back there, and I will see you shortly. Alright, so now that we know everything's safe, it's time to start preparing. So I realized earlier when I was doing all my enchanting that I somehow let slip a efficiency 3. And while I thought at one point to go back and fix it, I'm actually thinking I will keep it because it allows me a lot more control. It's still faster than a normal shovel, but I can actually pick and just do 1 block. It doesn't automatically kill the 3 blocks behind it like the other one does, which is really nice. So I'm kind of happy about that. So what we're going to just do is I'm going to go through here, and I'm going to expose all my water areas. I still, if I wanted to, I could go through and make it so, I only had one water block every few. And I thought about that and just realized why. It's easy to replenish your water buckets when, it's a straight line of source blocks, then you can use it to kind of grab and pick up and everything. So we're just going to make it one long thing, and then as opposed to just having, no dirt blocks between to control it, then I'd have to listen to running water all the time, and I don't like that either. So I'm going to just do this real fast, and then I'll come back when we got all the water done. Alright, so we got all of our water taken care of now, so everything is farmland hydratable, but I realize as I'm going through here, this needs to be raised up, otherwise I'm going to end up with wheat and seeds all over the sides, and being raised up means it's going to be this hard towards the ceiling, so I need to adjust this a little bit, and I figured while I'm at it I might as well add in some half slabs to make for easier movement up and down. So we're going to have to, everything's going to have to go up higher. Maybe it'll be easier if I do this part first. So let's see, we'll go there and there to get me up. And actually these points here is fine. So that'll be a half slab here. Oops, and then over to there. And I'm not going to do this all on camera. I'm just kind of showing where this is. I guess what I should just do is this first. And I want this here because I don't want, even if it's a half slab, stuff seems to tend to get stuck on there. So we want that like that, and then this like this. Alright, and then once I have, again, like I said, all these in place, then we'll come back and we'll see what of this stuff has to get adjusted and how we'll adjust it. And again, like all the other stuff, by how we do it here, it's going to be repeated up there, so it'll already be set up to be the ceiling, for the next layer of this. So I'm not really messing anything up here up. It's actually fixing it because this is the crop level here, so obviously it needs to be up to this height anyway. So, alright, well I'm going to do this off camera real fast, and when I'm done I'll come back. Alright, and we got our walls up on both sides now, so we can be sure that all of our drops are going to come down and be collected over here. I probably should add maybe a half slab up top here just to prevent any excess from getting over the lip here and getting caught up. The big point is I want to make this as automatic as possible. So we've got the ability now to automatically collect our items. The cauldrons in the game have been made to catch items that fall on top of them and store them. So we can do kind of like automatic storage. No ability to sort items yet, but from what we understand, the industrial craft is really close to being SMP ready, and hopefully BuildCraft isn't that far behind, because that will make things, you know, awesome. That, you know, being able to use those tools. So that's what we're hoping for. But for now, at least, just the ability to catch all the items is good. So I have the ability to get up and down now. I can move over to the side. Alrighty. Let's see. I'm trying to decide if I want to do down here first or up there first. Up there is just going to be the simple, or not the simple job, but the normal placing of the pistons, row of water behind them, and then running redstone up to basically release it all at once. Down here, on the other hand, is going to be a little more difficult. Not more difficult, but different. This is where we're going to be placing our collection area. Building our new storage room and such. You know, there's a bit of work to do on this one, and I have the feeling we're probably kind of moving along on this episode. I'm thinking that maybe I'm just going to go ahead and call this episode here. We made really good progress on this. That way we can kind of get a little more into the wheat farm, and maybe we'll go ahead and do the second layer. We'll be able to kind of go through the design of the room downstairs and some other things. So, yep, we're going to go ahead and call this here. I'm going to head back over to our village, and we'll take a peek at how things are looking right now. I totally should have started recording yesterday. I was doing some work over here off camera, went back to the village, and I mean, it was under attack. I had zombies everywhere, and I was always under the assumption that the zombie invasion that you hear about, it just means that, you know, every now and then a lot of them can spawn, but they still would have to spawn in areas by rule. You know, still would have to be a certain light, you know, for them to be able to spawn, and that was not the case. This place is lit up. There are very few, maybe one or two spots maybe that I haven't found where they could possibly spawn, but there are like 9-10 zombies in here, which means I'm very happy I did what I did here. These guys cannot be touched. I sat there and watched zombies up here going, they didn't really sound exactly like that. Close. And there, the people, the villagers are just standing up there looking at him. It's like, haha, can't get me. And they were safe. Yeah, little guy. And then, of course, I still have these guys that are locked in here. I have one breeding pair. It just sounds weird to say in this game. But yeah, I have one breeding pair. So in the event that the village were to get wiped out by something like that, I can repopulate it quickly enough. So, yeah. That worked out well. I'm glad I kind of thought about that. By the way, this is... I had to actually do this just because that was the only trade I had left. But now... 2 glowstone for 1 emerald, and I'm telling you, when you can get stacks and stacks of emeralds, it makes stacks of glowstone so much easier. It's awesome. Protection 2 chestplate for 4 emeralds. No, but eventually I'm going to have to, because this trade is going to go bye-bye, and then I'm going to have to work with these things to get it to come back. It's the only part about this that's kind of sucks, but you know, it can't be too super easy and overpowered, and no signs. Yay. I still think I have like 4 or 5 stacks of emeralds left right now. There we go. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5 stacks plus 7. And there's that diamond chest plate I had to do. But luckily we can re-enchant things, so I just hold on to it till this one's done, and then I can repopulate it. Also, before we go, check and show you where we are on our livestock right now. And I'm running, this is about the only wheat I have right now. I could go back into town, but the reason I'm so low is because, yeah. I got a few sheep, and I got a few cows. So I can pretty much go into this chest here. I got shears inside. That was one harvest right that the last time I bred them. So all the at least probably is like 32 or 32 more sheep are in there now that was there when I did this last one. So I can start saving up to do a big wool trade. They're just for meat, and to do books or bookshelves or whatever. I wanted cows, even though I can get a lot of beef using the trading system. But beef to me, I prefer to use that as my food source. I really enjoy it. I should put in some pigs. Maybe I will down the road. Trying to see if there's anything else here that I've done in this record. Yeah, so I did all this in about a week. I think on the previous episode I'd only been up to here, so like all the stuff down here had happened afterwards. This is only a single story. I could go 2 stories if I wanted to, I suppose, but for now it's fine the way it is. And yeah, we've shown off our livestock, shown off the sugarcane farm. Got the wheat farm going over there. If I bring up the map now, you can see where how it's all fitting in right now. Which, again, I think is really cool. And we have updated our map. However, it doesn't have the wheat farm in yet. Just because of the issue we were having where it was interrupting the backup saves and we were losing an entire day's worth of work. So I'll go ahead and put up what we have in the map right now to show that off, kind of show the areas and where we are. And I think the next episode where I finish the wheat farm and some of those things, that's going to be the last episode here in this village for now. And then after that, we'll try and get back to work in the cavern and the temple and all that kind of stuff. We'll get moving towards that again. So, oh yeah, let me show that real fast. I always forget things. I cleaned this up a little bit too, so it's a little, instead of that big giant pile of chests, they're over here, and they're a little bit more sorted now, so which is always nice to be able to easily find what you want. The 2 different types of the leaves here for that. I'm swimming in wood again every time we clear a jungle. And I think this was just tools. So I have tools, armors, and weapons that I get from trades and whatnot and things. So anyway, yeah, that's it for now. Hope you guys are enjoying this. And again, like I said, we'll get back to the minecart ride and the cavern and all that stuff here in another couple episodes. But I've been having fun doing this, and it's a nice little change of pace, and I hope you guys have been enjoying it too. So with that, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.